本日はお越しいただき、誠にありがとうございます。また、言語の壁があったにもかかわらず、長年にわたり温かいご支援をいただきましたこと、心より感謝申し上げます。本日は自動翻訳ツールを使用して多言語字幕を提供いたします。この実は常に変化発展して いる段階にあるため、不具合が生じる可能性がございます。あらかじめご了承ください。もし鶴が私の発言を正確に反映できていないと感じた場合は、お知らせいただきますと幸いです。それ以外はどうぞリラックスで、それ以外はどうぞリラックスして、いつも通りの雑談配信をお楽しみください。ありがとうございます。But wait, I'm not done yet. 感谢大家今天的到来，也感谢这些年来经验语言上宽在各个大家依然给予我日期多的支持。今天我将使用一款自动翻译工具，为大家提供多语言字幕。请注意，由于这项技术让处于不断变化和发展之中，可能会出现一些问题。如果这款工具能准确呈现我的话语，欢迎大家告知我。出期计划，请带大家放松身心，享受一场普通的闲聊直播。谢谢大家。I'm not very good at either of those languages. I am trying my very best. But I think that today is important because, as you can see at the base of the screen, I'm trying out a new tool. So today what we're going to be doing is, if what I just said made no sense, I'm not surprised. I tried to read out from the screen, but obviously I'm aware that there are many intonations and problems that might surface when it comes to me trying to do things in my own way. That said, please take a look at the description for those paragraphs in your own language, and potentially what we're going to be able to do today is to take a look at this new tool and see how accurate it is. If this is reliable enough, then it's something that I'd like to use in Zatsudan going forward. Potentially not for every stream, as some streams, especially collabs, might get very overwhelmed by this tool, or the tool might get overwhelmed by many voices at once. But just for me, I think that this works quite well, at least. Possible to have outlines. Yeah, we can, because so it has settings that we can fiddle with. Let me do that, and let me see what I can do. So there are different fonts and things that we can use. Maybe I could change the color slightly. What if we did white like that? Is that easier? Or that's more like gray. And then the Chinese is in blue, and I'm not even seeing an option for that one. It's a bit confusing. Okay, It's not doing very well with figuring out long sentences. I think that's the problem, right? Is that I speak in such long sentences. But hopefully it will try better. Maybe what I need to do is make the English a bit bigger. Yeah, I can do that. We can maybe change the font slightly to like one of these. That's a little bigger. Says I'm way too fast. So there is an option where what I'm doing right now is it's typing live, and you can hide that. So I'm hiding it, like trying to figure things out, but maybe that's making it a bit more confusing. I'll turn that on and we'll see how that is. If I turn that off, then it's going to be a lot more rapid. That might be better, I'm not sure. So today is just a test. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for the super. Thank you, guys. Mela, thank you very much for the super. Ready for university exam now. Graduating from university, and I really appreciate the company with me, feeling more powerful and confident than I was before. I'm really, really proud of you, and I think that getting more confident is such an important part of this. The English is too small. The problem is that the English is like, it's supposed to be a reference, I guess. The English is just for me to look at, because obviously if it's in English, then you can hear me speaking. This is better? Oh, you guys like this better? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Sally Raid, thank you for the raid, Sally. I didn't notice. I'm really locked in. I'm quite nervous. I'm quite focused at the moment. So, yeah, I just want to make sure that I can get this all right. Now, the nice thing is that even if we have a working translation going, what that means is I can actually see your language translated through YouTube chat as well. So it's almost like if this works great, then it's almost like there's very little barrier for languages as well. Sorry, I don't know why I'm very nervous. I'm just hoping this all works out okay. I don't know why it's like slightly faded sometimes. I guess that's while it's typing, it's faded out slightly. How was my Chinese? I think I was feeling a little inspired by Ludwig in Road to Empress. It's very funny, very, very funny. Ginko, thank you very much for the gifted. Thank you so much. Huyu, thank you very much for the super. Thank you for putting on the subtitles. I admire the way you treat people from all different cultural backgrounds so respectfully. Your attitude inspires me to keep working hard on my English. Watashi mo eigo ganbarimasu. Very good, and you should try hard with your English. Yeah, the thing about it's so different, and it's very sort of surprising to me, and I didn't see it coming early when I first started streaming with NIJISANJI EN, but what's really bizarre is that I just kind of am not used to trying to kind of be a part of and understand a lot of different cultures, and yet I really do have this opportunity and this position because of so many fans from around the world. I think to me this is like the least I can do, you know? This is I feel like I've been given so much by people who have a hard time playing it. I'm getting so distracted. A hard time speaking English, and to kind of give back in a little way, you know. And this is part of why I enjoy. Mainly, I think what inspired me to do this is I saw how when we had the full translation on the Kayukan vlog, and I saw that a lot of people, it was quite successful, and a lot of you really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna stick to that and keep that in mind and try to make things more accessible, until maybe one day I can learn a bunch of new languages, but I'm not very smart and not very good at those kinds of things. Yeah, sadly, looking at it right now, it does seem like the English font, I don't know if I can make it any bigger than it is already. I could potentially try, because a bunch of people are talking about how it's sort of cut off on your phone, so maybe I could like sort of squish it a little bit, or I don't know. Because really the idea behind this is just for the translation. I think that maybe the English is not really considered to be something that's, you know, if I'm speaking. But then again, I understand for those who are hard of hearing. There's a lot to figure out. That's all I'm saying, is there's a lot to figure out. It's very small and mobile. I mean, I could maybe, like, grow it a little bit. Like, maybe like that. Yeah. Daja how, everybody. Sorry, I'm very behind with supers. I've been feeling, I'm so like blah, blah, blah. I'm also talking slower because I want to give the translation time to keep up. Let's do a little test. Let's do a little test. Let me try and speak really, really fast, and you can like let me know how. You can let me know how well it follows the conversation. So let me see how this goes. What do I talk about? What do I talk about? Suddenly, this guy who yaps all the time. Oh, Spider-Man review. Okay. So a few days I went to go and see the brand new Spider-Man film. It's called Spider-Man Brand New Day. And the first thing that I really thought about this new film is, God, the box office results have been so crazy. Like, I didn't think that in the near future, especially post-COVID, that we were going to see a box office that rivaled Avengers Endgame in terms of the amount of revenue that it earned so quickly. That said, I'm not surprised because Spider-Man is such an important, relevant character, kind of all over the world. I'm to understand that a lot of, I'm sure a lot of you guys from other parts of the world probably also might be fans of Spider-Man. I've always really enjoyed Spider-Man. I love Across the Spider-Verse. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I have just generally been a fan of the John Watts Spider-Man as well. Even though a lot of people aren't really fond of those films, they do lack the style of Sam Raimi very much, but I like the story, and I've always had a soft spot for Tom Holland as well. What's interesting, actually, is that Tom Holland was in sort of post-interviews, in post-interviews or sort of like leaving the cinema. There have been surveys taken that a lot of people actually, Tom Holland was a really big reason for why they saw the film, which I was always under the impression that Spider-Man would be the main draw, and I love Tom Holland as well. But you know what it is? I think that a lot of people love not only Tom Holland, but they also love Zendaya with Tom Holland, and those two being in a film together, especially the fact that, I mean, their love story in real life is so cute. You know, the way that they met as Spider-Man and Mary Jane, and I think they had met beforehand as well, and then they wound up falling in love and married now. It's so cute to see them both in a film, in a relationship together, in the relationship through which they managed to meet. So for me, the film was really brilliant. I loved it a lot. It's definitely got more style, more sauce to it than the previous John Watts installments. But what I loved most, it was very emotional. It was very, very emotional, and I don't know. Let me try and describe it, because I'm trying to remember what it was about the film. I think that it takes it to just enough of a dark place for it to be really inviting, but it still has that same level of normalcy and fun that you come to expect from Spider-Man. And what I really, really enjoyed as well, the end credits, not a spoiler, the end credits have this sort of slideshow of everyday New York. It's to show like this is what Spider-Man is protecting, and it's so nice to see that versus other Marvel credit scenes where all you really get is this this is where all you really get is like just graphics showing you the fights and all of this CGI and stuff. A very simplistic, heartful look at the people of New York that he's keeping safe was a very, very nice thing to see. But yeah, how exactly are the captions dealing with this? I'm curious. People seem impressed, so that's good. Alright, let me catch up on Super real quick. Thank you very much to Dirty Eve for the 10 gifted. Mwah, thank you so much. Phoenix, thank you very much for the super. Mwah, it's lovely to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Efita, thank you for the 5 gifted. Mwah, thank you so much. And Angelia, thank you for the Aku super. Thank you so much. Thank you, BB. You are the best. I'm glad that you think so. Let me translate that. Let me practice my Chinese a little bit more. Hold on. 你真的超级棒. Thank you. Keeps up even when you speak fast? Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. transcriptions went away too quickly. I think that that's going to be something that probably happens when I'm speaking quickly. But yeah, if your reading is a little slow, you might struggle with it. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I generally am just difficult to follow. Generally, I'm just difficult to follow, I think, as a speaker. Even people who speak English struggle to follow me sometimes. What I would say, overall, is that if you can't speak English, but you are interested in watching my content, just know that sometimes, even for English speakers, I talk about things that are very difficult to understand. And I can't really help it, you know? I just get excited and I talk fast and I want to get all my ideas out as fast as possible. And that's, I think, just an accepted and expected part of this experience, part of watching me. And I'm really grateful for the people who've understood that. And put the streamer at 0.75. Yeah, if only that were possible on a live. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I've never checked. And Ji Chung, thank you very much for the super. I'm glad that you enjoyed. I gave it a try. I'm sure that much of my intonation was wrong, but I always have fun trying to pronounce things from different languages. So, Tender Dream, thank you for the super. The patch update. There's a new Vox update out. I now deal 20% more damage to overseas fans. Yeah. The EN boss has been nerfed just for Kindred. That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here and waiting so long for me to get around to this. 谢谢. Oh, you can slow me down? That's funny. That's funny. I mean, you're going to be like behind a little bit. I'm going to be like... Thank you, Mikeyama Mikeo, for the 10 gifted. Arigato. And Naku, thank you for 5 gifted. Arigato. Wolflower, thank you so much for the super. Helpful for those who are slow at learning different languages, like me. Timing is a bit slow, but that's how learning and understanding works. Yeah, it might take a little bit of getting used to, but it's definitely better than nothing. Blah, blah, blah. Oh. I tried to pop my ears. I had a weird headache, and now it's gone. Well, there you go then. I've learned. Tender Dream, thank you for 5 gifted. Mwah. So, maybe for those of you who aren't regulars, who haven't really been here before, today I just want to do kind of a normal chatting stream, like a normal talking stream, and just kind of see how the technology goes. So, one other thing is that I was under the impression that this tool could translate into as many languages as you wanted, but it can only do 2. It can only do 2 different languages at once. So I've opted. I'm not sure what to do because I'm, with a huge sort of population of Chinese speaking fans. It's obviously difficult to choose between simplified and traditional. I'm not sure what to do. I've opted for simplified for today, but I think what I might do is go for Japanese and traditional Chinese in the future, and then just use the simplified Chinese while I'm streaming on Bilibili. You guys can read the words. See, what's nice is YouTube is translating the chat automatically as well. So that's really helpful for me too. Can you read the Chinese chat? In the YouTube chat, yeah, I can. It translates it for me. Gave the cutest speech in the world. Well, I'm glad you think so. The subtitles make it cuter. Somehow I keep getting cuter. I don't get it, but translation tools are amazing. Thank you for providing such great translated subtitles. Nikoko, thank you very much. And what are you saying there? Let me translate that. 我太感动了. I'm so moved. 我太感动了. Well, thank you very much. I'm happy to move you. Kai, thank you very much for the super. Daisuki desu. Arigato. It's only a little, but I'm sending my first ever super chat. Arigato. I appreciate that, regardless. Is the auto-translation accurate? That's what I'm trying to find out today. Then I'm sure that there may be some instances where it doesn't quite get across the tone that that I want to get across. However, I think that it's translation tools and automatic translation are getting really, really good with time. So I think that this is something that people can really kind of look forward to. And at the very least, as long as you're patient and you understand that it might not be 100% accurate, it's kind of like with when I read somewhat broken English, I can still mostly infer the meaning, but there might be a bit of humor in there, sort of finding it out. Shall I tell you one of my favorite pieces of kind of translation goofs that I found. So a long time ago, do you have to restart the whole thing to change the language? No, you don't. I can change it on the fly, I think. So I could just temporarily, I could potentially change the first language to, let's do, I know I have some Spanish kindred. Let's do Spanish for a second. Where is Spanish? Do they have Spanish here? They should do. I'm gonna temporarily, guys, let's see what happens if oh yeah, Spanish, there we are. That's why I got confused. And there we go, now I have Vox en Español. How is that? And potentially we can also temporarily, what else do I have? If we're going for a European theme, maybe French. Hello everyone, this is Vox Akuma. I'm from France today, and today I'm going to be translating my stream into French so that all of you can enjoy it very much. What about Portuguese? I'm sure they have Portuguese. That's why I'm confused, because I can tell the app is American. So under Spanish, I'm expected to see the Spanish flag, but it's a Mexican flag. And under Portuguese, I'm expecting to see the flag of Portugal, but instead it's the flag of Brazil, which makes sense. I was just a bit lost for a second. Yes, thank you to all of my Brazilian kindred. I am not afraid of coming to Brazil. I would come to Brazil. All right, we'll go back to what we had before, which would be Nihongo and simplified Chinese for now, but we now have the ability. I'm not sure if I'd be able to run, because it's a maximum of 2 translations. I'm not sure if I'd be able to run multiple instances of the app at the same time, so I could just have an unlimited number of languages. But yeah, we'll see. There's always potential to try and figure stuff out with time. Sai, thank you very much for the super. Sorry for curiosity, if how my name is subbed, either Sai or Sai. So it's PSY. Sorry if you say my name. Oh, I love your name. Don't worry about it. Thanks for the jewels as well, guys. Thanks for the jamming, for the air travel, the finger heart, and the clapping seal. Art. Kasano, thank you very much for the super. It's good to see you back, by the way. I love some of the fan art you've been posting. The Kaiyukan one especially was really heartwarming. Psycho! I thought that said Sugoi for a second. No, Psycho! Quick question. Do you want to use your Demon Slayer for the VexpoCon? Manifesting that I can see you there at the meet and greet. Or maybe... I'm not sure. It just depends on what work has been like. If I've been slaying a lot of demons at the time, then maybe. But otherwise, if it's been a bit of a slow season, maybe not. Is it possible to send the actual the output as actual subtitles to YouTube? I believe it is, but I'm not sure if this tool in particular is capable of that. I could. I'm going to investigate, because I think that's worth checking out, because that would be brilliant, wouldn't it? If it was just, nothing on screen, but then you can check the captions to set it up for your own language as well. I wonder. Let's see. So it's sort of just, I don't think that this one in particular has the option to do that. But you know, I actually recently had been doing a lot of research into live translation options. And I think that kind of thing is possible, but I don't know of an app that is capable of sending captions straight to YouTube rather than just putting them overlaid on OBS. Mere Lively, thank you very much for the super. Thank you for the little test in Spanish and French. It was great, your French pronunciation. It translated correctly. Oh, that's good to know. Merci beaucoup, muchas gracias. Before I couldn't keep up with my lord's thought process, but now the translation is so fast that I can't keep up with my speaking speed. Well, I think what you need to do really is just sort of relax a little bit and allow... What you need to do is just allow the sound of my voice to kind of wash over you and focus purely on reading the text. I think especially while I'm speaking fast, I think that that's the main solution. Serena Safira, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Thank you. Mwah. The translation breaks the lines too quickly. Maybe if I reduce the font size, that won't be a problem. But the English font size is already a little bit small. But let's see what happens if I reduce it slightly, so that it's like usually flat, like that. Maybe that's a little bit more clear. Because I think if it's sort of jumbled and kind of jumps up and down, then that might be pretty difficult to follow. Maybe if I got to reduce it a little more. Bladder-dee-da-da-da-da-da. Bladder-deep. Bladder deep, bladder, bladder, bladder. Bladder, 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 bladder. You know, I always find it interesting that fish have a swim bladder that they use to control their buoyancy. And in some cases, what you wind up having is a fish will get bloated and they can't swim back down because they're sort of, you know, it's like when you need to fart really bad. And you see some fishermen who don't want to catch this specific fish, they'll like help it fart so it can go down, the hole back into the ocean. Eva, thank you very much. Great attempt, although the context sometimes flows a little strangely, the general meaning is correct. That is really, really good to know. And thank you for providing the Chinese translation for that as well. 很棒的尝试，虽然 相下文有喜好相接的有点奇怪，但是大概的意思都算正确。正确 is down. 确 there you go. Heika, thank you very much. Generally, we can understand both simplified and traditional just fine. So it's not that much of a big concern. Well, that's good to know. But I definitely, at least when it comes to making translations for pre-recorded videos, there will always be both options. And really knowing how many different, I think it's almost kind of a good idea, almost as a bit of a publicity thing, to have as many different languages available as possible. Like, what if I just went back to the Kayukan vlog, for example, and I added like Thai, Viet, Spanish, French, Portuguese, like German, Russian, just as many different ones as I could think of. I need Chinese to Chinese translation. Helps make it as accessible as well. Korean, yes, no, I would do Korean as well. Mr. Worldwide, that's me. 52 months. Thank you so much. Casey Chua, thank you for the super. Very happy to have this feature. Very grateful that it allows me to understand exactly what you're saying. That's really nice, and I think it will be a great way of accelerating the English teaching streams as well, so that I can help educate you guys a little bit easier. Because I really loved doing English teaching content, but I know that I speak so fast and I can't kind of help it. Even when I'm trying to teach English, I feel like I just get stuck. You know, I keep suddenly realizing that I've been speaking too fast, and then it just, you know, it gets a little bit intimidating like that. Does it have Hindi? It does. Let me swap out one of the languages for Hindi now. So now I'm translating into Hindi. I'm not really aware of having an Indian fan base, but if I do you know? I don't know if I've ever learned a word of Hindi before. It's strange because India is such an enormous country. What is hello in Indian? Or in Hindi, rather. Oh, namaste! Of course, namaste. No, I knew that. I just wasn't sure. Wasn't aware that was Hindi. I thought it was something else. Well, there you go. Namaste. What else have we got? It's fun going through the different languages. Persian. I'm sure I have many fans from Persia, from Iran. Hello, everybody. What is it? What is it in Persian? What is it? I might be thinking of a different. Wait. Salam. Is it salam alaikum? Is that right, or is that I'm not sure what the difference is personally. It's not something I'm terribly familiar with. Yeah, let's get back to Nihongo. Gooey Flames, thank you very much for the super. Good news, finally got a job. Great search was, job search was heck. Finally free. Thanks for being a calming and constant presence. And I always will be. Congratulations, okay? Really glad that you managed to get a good job. Assalamu alaikum is correct? Oh, good. Apu, thank you. The sentences were detected while you're not done, so little mistakes, but besides that, all good. And the thumbnail's font is flawless. Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, you taught me very well on choosing font choices. G-Pice, thank you so much for the super. Say for accuracy, it's about 70% accurate. However, grammar is the main issue since Chinese and English build complete sentences in opposite ways. This is always going to be a bit of a problem. Yeah, I mean, I'm not terribly familiar with sentence structure in these different languages, and that will always be a way in which this is going to be a bit tricky. But as far as live translation goes, I think this is probably as good as it's going to get for some time. But then again, these tools are improving constantly. Can't wait for German. Let's put some German on, guys. Let's do German. Where's German? Hallo, guten Tag. Mag ein bisschen Deutsche. Deutsche, that's right. Let's do Indonesian. Mari kita lakukan bahasa Indonesia. Look up Meri Jan. What does that mean? It's a song? What does it mean? My life, my soul in Hindi. Ah. Thanks for the clapping seal. Thanks for the jamming. Sai, thank you very much. I'll ask if there's Tagalog. Is there Tagalog? Let me check. Let me put that one back. And then Tagalog. Is there Tagalog? Maybe. It's listed as Filipino. I'm not sure. Does this work for the Filipinos? Does this work for you guys? Is that the same thing? Like, is Filipino and Tagalog the same thing, or are they different? It does? Okay, cool. So it's not Tagalog, it may be Filipino. Well, yeah. Oi, Philippines! I'm not terribly familiar, but I'm sure I can learn some memes for you guys. Philippines have been mentioned at last. Wow, the Tagalog translation is like really filling up the screen so fast. It's really just covering the entire screen. Russian? Let me try. Change it to Russian. Whereabouts is that? Strasutsia. What else do I know in Russian? I don't know. The only two words I know in Russian are Strasutsia and da. Does it have Thai? I believe it should have Thai, yeah? Thanks for the air travel, Sora. Thank you so much. Oh, and Loikolts, thank you very much. Let me change back to the original languages just so that people who super can see what I'm trying to say. Ba-da-ba. Haven't watched stream for a long time since I was preparing for exams. It's so awesome seeing you keep making great projects and also coming up with this translator. Hope everything gets better and better. I'm sure it will. I've got lots of big ideas and it's nice to see you again. I hope you've been feeling okay. Mwah. Tried to have 10 subtitles at the same time. That's the idea. I'm being Mr. Worldwide. It's fun. It's fun. I love to learn like a little bit about each of them. So what else was I going to do? There's like Croatian. There's Estonian. Romanian. Polish. Swedish. Ukrainian. Malay. Malaysia Kindred. Everybody say, hello, my name is Kindred. Hello, guys. Everybody, I am now dedicating my streams to a very specific demographic. I'm aware that I have a very passionate group of fans from Malaysia and Bosnia. So to my fans from Malaysia and Bosnia, hello, guys. I'm really, really happy that I get to make content for you guys now. Well, there'll be real-time translation for future streams. I would like, probably not for every stream, but I would like to do it for solo streams and chatting streams. I think it's a really nice idea to have it there. You know, also, it might work really well for a gaming stream as well, because I'm probably going to be speaking a little less frequently. Because, I mean, I'm looking at the subtitles, especially the Japanese subtitles are really, really like... They're very, very long-winded in some cases. Maybe I can reduce the font size a little bit more, just to make sure that it's not sliding all over the place. Oh, that's really tiny. Wait a minute. Is that... Oh, is that... I don't think that's any smaller, is it? Is that smaller, or is it not? Wait. Bing. Can't really tell. Thank you so much. Leo, thank you. I was wondering, if I send a super chat in Japanese, will it be translated into English for you? Writing in English takes me a long time. You can go ahead. If you type in chat in Japanese, it should translate it for me. But if you send a super chat, I can always... I have a translator open that I can then use to translate your super. So if you super me in any language, I'll do my best to translate it and check it out. Although I might not be able to if I'm busy, like playing a game and my hands are occupied, for example. Reading the English caption, it is quite surprising how well it understands what I'm actually saying. Yukiji, thank you. Ask you to say Habib Albi means my heart's beloved in Arabic, and I'm working more on my Arabic and I'm having fun with it. Let me try and see if I can put, if they have Arabic. Let me see if I can put that on screen. Arabic, there we are. Habib Albi. Salam alaikum. And Shalha's long sentences can sometimes be really hard to understand, and sometimes he even adds some jokes. This is true. I am known to be a bit of a jokester, a bit of a prankster sometimes. I do like to have fun sometimes. Hello, my halal demon. How are you, Vox? Today I'm doing very well. I've had a busy day. I've had a very busy day indeed. Today I had a meeting actually with another company that I am looking to buy some technology from because just recently I tweeted about how I was trying to get some new technology set up to stream with, but it hasn't really worked very well. So I'm looking into some other options, and I had a little bit of a demo or a consultation this morning. And I have some high hopes for it. It's a great deal more expensive than the previous option, but if I get the first option that I went for refunded, it should be okay. But yeah. Connected for well, I'm not gonna tell you guys. It's gonna be a little surprise. It's gonna be a surprise when I get it working. How is your back, by the way? Thank you, Pammy, for 44 months. And Feng Lian, thank you very much for 12 months. And the 10 gifted, thank you for the 10 gifted, Feng Lian. Mwah. But how's my back? My back is better, and I'll tell you why. So it turns out I wasn't actually having any problems with my spine or my posture or anything muscular at all. No. As it turns out, I had some really bad gas. So bad, in fact, that apparently you can become bloated enough that it starts to press on nerves in your spine and gives you the illusion of back pain. So I was so bloated that I was having back pain as well. But so all I did was I lay down on my bed and like put my knees in my stomach, and then I had an epic fart. It was fantastic. I wonder what epic fart is in these different languages. Me bloat. I am the bloat. I am the pestilent bloat, unfortunately. That's what that sound was. It wasn't until after stream, okay? It wasn't. I wasn't farting on stream. Angelia, thank you very much. My dad can follow your streams now too. He really likes you. Don't be nervous. You're doing great. Every time I hear you speak Chinese, it makes me so happy. All right, well, I gotta speak this now. Mwah. Thank you so much for the super. 关于叫第一棒第一可爱的小孩永远最爱你。You know what it is? I think particularly with both Japanese and Chinese, I find like the way that it's pronounced to be so satisfying to attempt and get right, you know? I don't know why. I think that learning little bits of saying like regarding farts in Chinese, it doesn't understand slang very accurately. No, I'm sure it doesn't. Like it reminds me of when I tried to get the title translated for the Kayukan vlog, and it was just, and people saying it was kind of cheesy, and it took a human translation for it to be like, oh yeah, you know, the seal pun, right? I think the thing is that particularly with Chinese wordplay, it's very, very difficult to translate that. Like, whenever someone tries to explain, or when I try to explain the Chinese title of the Kayukan vlog or the Chinese thumbnail, to anybody who's curious, it takes a while for me to explain what that pun actually means, you know, because if you directly translate it into English, it just says, the leopard made me cry, or something like that, but you wouldn't know that in Chinese, a seal is called a sea leopard, and so by, you know, it's like wordplay because the word for leopard also means cry or something like that. So it's something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure, but there are always going to be some difficulties. Number, the pronunciation of Q in the oldest child's Chinese pinyin is quite different from that in English. That was when I was first learning, when I first started streaming with Niji, and I realized I had a large subset of Chinese fans. Learning how to pronounce the different characters in pinyin was really interesting because, like, the Q, you know, in English it's like a k, and when I would look at a word in Chinese that began with a Q in pinyin, I would say I used to think it was a k, sound like a k, but it's actually a ch, or like an X, right? When I used to read pinyin and it would have an X in it, I would think it was a Z, sound like a Z, like XI would be Z, but it's actually sh. And the big one, I think, is like ER. Instead of it's R. I love pronouncing that, R. We say this, and if it's stinky, we say this. 洗血鸡打屁。洗血鸡打屁。And then it's what? 洗血鸡打搓皮。Curious whether learning Chinese involves pinyin or douyin. Has this been mentioned before? So with regards to that, I mean, as you know, natively English, reading particularly, you know, the symbols, or in Japanese, reading kanji is very, very, very difficult. And so we have to learn via either the pinyin or the romaji for Japanese at first, because otherwise we're going to get really, really confused. For example, now the one thing is that with Japanese, I can read hiragana and katakana slowly, but I can. And it is a lot of fun to kind of get that right. But, you know, obviously, when they start throwing kanji in there, there's only a few that I know. I think negai I can read sometimes, but even then I kind of, you know, even then sometimes I kind of read that and I'm like, is that right? I don't know. Say thank you for the super. You speak it so well. Thank you for using the tool, and your new short is so cute. Yes. 谢谢你. How did you guys feel about the new short? That dance took me a long time to learn. I was in the studio for some time looping that one, trying to do the dance for ages. Something about it was really confusing to me. I don't know why. I think I was just I looked at who is it? Dain Senpai was dancing to that song, and that was the example I had trying to learn the dance. And I just watched it over and over and over again. I was like, I don't get it. What am I supposed to do here? I just couldn't really interpolate it into look at how long the subtitles are getting. Good God. Hello? Hello? I think there might be a bug happening. It's not clearing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride. There's a liquor store around the corner, but oh, there we go. Get some gin and juice, but I really don't wanna. It's okay. There's just a bit of lag, but we're fine. Huma, good to see you again. I hope you've been well. Truly one big world now, thanks to technology. It's so good to hear your voice. It's good to see you too. My reading is pretty weak. The time between the lines is just too short. Yeah, I wonder what I can do to try and fix that. It's strange because there is a font size setting, but it doesn't seem to actually change anything. I wonder if there's like a little error with that I can try to fix. Because if I increase the font size... Yeah, it's like it doesn't really... Oh! You see, it decreases it for a second and then it brings it back up again. How confusing. I don't know. I don't know. Please don't fart with every language. Oh, but what if I want to, though? What if I want to? There's nothing wrong with farts. It's a part of life. These are long and complex sentences. Too right. Too right. He's reading chat typed 10 minutes earlier. Yeah. Saying I love you and fart in every language. Fart in every language. I wonder what it is. Well, the first one on the list I saw is the Spanish for fart, and I don't really want to. I don't really want to. Oh dear. Sora, thank you very much for the super. You're still here. Of course I am. After a few tough months, it feels amazing to be back. I feel like everything is looking up. I'm really glad you liked the Kaiyukan vlog. I want to do more ocean-themed videos. For those of you who might not have been here for my last Zatsudan, I recently went and learned how to use scuba equipment in a I used scuba equipment in a pool, and I want to do a vlog underwater, where I want to do a vlog underwater where I go scuba diving and I bring a GoPro and show you guys a bunch of the fish and the animals. Yeah, it should be fine if I... It's also... I love the French for fart. Peter. It's spelt Peter. Imagine being called Peter and going to France. Good God. Mufang, thank you so much for the Aku Super. My birthday is in 2 more days. This is already my 5th birthday with me. Wow. I have one birthday wish for you to grant this year. May my dearest, you be safe, happy, and healthy, surrounded by love every day, and may everything you set out to do go smoothly. I pray that it will, and I have a lot of big ideas, lots of ambitions, lots of things that I want to do, but with you at my side and your blessing, I'm sure that I can make it just fine. Thank you. Gloves, thank you for the super. Mr. Fartwide is real. I'm sorry, I don't mean it. The Shaiz, or however you pronounce that, I'm not sure. Been away for a long while, finally moved somewhere with supers, so I couldn't pass the chance to say thank you for being such a comforting constant over the years. Is there Khmer on there? Let me check. I'm glad to have been there for you, and it's good to see you again. Thank you. I'm glad you're back and you're able to send me super chats again. Yeah. I'm not sure if they have this language, but there are quite a lot. I don't think so. I don't think so. Unfortunately, no. But maybe they'll add it in an update soon. Who, thank you for the super. You shouldn't inspire him. Please inspire me. Inspire me. I love to be inspired. Tana, thank you for the super. The live captions are great. I'm still learning English listening, and checking the captions after hearing you helps me a lot. Thank you for always trying new things. That's kind of my hope, is that if I speak in recognizable English, then you guys can hear my voice and read it in your own language, and then try to kind of almost flashcard your way through and learning a lot more English. I have a video that's going to go up this weekend where I'm reading some English literature with subtitles, so you can learn a little bit there as well. Eve, thank you so much for the super. My dirty girl. This tool is helpful to us non-English speakers, and I'll keep improving my English skill for your stream. Love your accent and listening to you. I'm glad you think so. I love you too. Mwah. Now, that is something interesting, because this morning I was watching the delightful Tom Simons, previously Tommy In It, who has this show, 100 Questions. And it's really good. I think it's so cool to see like someone like him who got famous on YouTube so young and was unfortunately around so many unscrupulous characters to have, like, you know, really been able to conquer that you know, those sad feelings from when the Dream SMP wasn't around anymore, like trying to kind of make sense of how that felt and still succeeding so much. I think he's a very inspirational character despite being, you know, so young. But I started watching this interview that he was doing with Stephen Fry. And Stephen Fry is a real national treasure in the UK. Most people love Stephen Fry so much. He is a very classic British actor who's done all kinds of different projects on stage, in film. He actually, one of my favorite sleep aids from many years ago was an audiobook he did of Paddington and some of the Paddington books. I still remember part of his narration. You know, there was such a hullabaloo going on, and Paddington was having a difficult time blocking out the noise while he tried to make notes in his scrapbook. Stephen Fry has an incredible voice. His accent is so posh, very received English pronunciation. And I was watching it this morning and I thought, God, he has such a delightful voice, and in particular, you can tell that he has such an incredible sort of background in learning English, you know? And it made me wonder, it made me feel a little sort of like, I don't know, because within England, within the United Kingdom as a whole especially, there are many, many, many different accents, dialects, and so on. There is, what is it? There, received pronunciation is typically called the BBC accent, and this is what someone who is of the upper class or the aristocracy might speak like. And then, of course, in East London, you've, just in the same city, but just in a different part of it, you've got the East London accent, which sounds a lot like the Essex accent as well. And then further north, you might have a Scouser accent as well. And then down in the West Country, you have a lot of sort of the, village folk. They speak like this as well. And you might even get, in such a small landmass, you have so many people who speak in so many different ways. And for me, I not only have traveled around the world and, only came to the UK in the last 100 years. Next month, it'll be 101 years, actually. But sometimes I feel like I have like an inherited English accent. Not inherited, that's not the right word. I have a kind of borrowed, that's right. I feel like my English changes so much depending on my environment. When I'm on stream and I'm speaking, trying to be straightforward, I think that I'm quite received. But also, sometimes I feel this kind of kinship and connection with people of different accents, particularly, people with from East London. A lot of my life I lived in East London. A lot of my family lived in East London. So I feel this, like, sometimes I almost wish, like Stephen Fry with his incredible accent, that I had a way of speaking that I knew was fully my own. I feel as though the language and the person that I was when I spoke many, many years ago, it sounds nothing like who I am today. And yes, people change, but I almost want, you sound so much more American now than you did back then. Is that really? Oh no. Oh no. Oh. I mean, I think I was back then just trying to put more effort into sounding a little more posh. So maybe that was where more of the Britishness came from previously. Well, this is true, though, because a lot of people in the UK say that I sound a little bit American. I remember one time I was shooting a short film a few years ago, maybe like a decade or so ago, and this lady, we were shooting outside this lady's house, and she came out and she said, sorry, are you Canadian? She asked if I was Canadian, and I said, no, I'm not, but, I guess in a sense, given all of the voices inside, all the voices in my head, a little bit of almost like a faux bilingual effect, maybe. Thank you so much for the super Angel of Music. Missed you these past few months. Working on a lot of long shifts. It's been causing my anxiety to spike. But listening to you while I work has been so very helpful. Thank you for everything you do for us. I'm glad I could have helped. Anxiety is can be really horrible to deal with, but I'm glad I can give you a hand. Mwah. Aryu eats you. Can you give us your best impression of an Irish accent, please? I'm also curious to see if the subtitles can pick it up. I'm sure the subtitles can pick up an Irish accent. I don't think that it really struggles too much. I think it's parsing the Irish quite well. It parses the English language pretty all right, regardless. But it's I don't think my Irish is terribly accurate. I think there is a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done to improve my Irish accent, but but yeah, I also should say, after my recent tweet where the Irish Vexpo employee was making fun of us for losing in the World Cup, I should apologize and say that as an Englishman, I have no problems with the Irish, love the Irish, many Irish friends. If you ever meet Jacksepticeye, you can ask him for accent advice. I do like Jacksepticeye. I think he's a good lad. Yu Ting, thank you very much for the super. This is a big long sentence. Let me translate this. Bit. Never dreamed I'd be able to have a conversation with you in Chinese. I'm so happy and deeply touched. Wishing you happiness every day. It's amazing. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my my Chinese. Whenever I try speaking Chinese, I just feel like the video, of Ludwig from Road to Empress is so funny. Him hitting that idol animation. It's another, him from Road to Empress is such a legendary video, such a legendary visual alongside like the one white guy wearing the kimono. It's like if a white boy speaks a little Nihongo, then you've got like the kimono guy with the Yuki Wilson hair. But then if if a white boy speaks a little Chinese, then you have like the Ludwig character. But yeah. So in this, I love reading it. 我多么都没想到能和你用中文对话，超开心，也很感动，也就没落天天开心。你中文讲得很棒。I know the idle animation is so... I need to get an idle animation. Mire, thank you very much for the super. Translation is amazing and really helpful. That's really, really good to know. Such high quality as well. I love it so much. 谢谢你. Thank you very much for the super. What else does this say? I'm curious. 谢谢你一直这么用心. Thank you so much for putting so much heart into everything. Ah, I see. And the line in there, I wonder, is that to do with the pronunciation as well? 谢谢你一直这么用心. Kairos, thank you very much for the super. The translation function is cool. Could it do other languages? If I'd speak German, yes, it can. I mean, I wonder. Okay, let's experiment, everybody. Let me have an English translation, and then I will try speaking Japanese. Konnichiwa, ohayou gozaimasu. Sumimasen. ファミチキ一つお願いします。袋お願いします。That's not right. That's not right. 袋 That's not right. But that's a problem with my Japanese, I think. Try Chinese. I don't know as much Chinese, but I'll try. Let me see. 大家好，我是 Vox Akuma。我爱 Kindred. Kindred. I don't know if it can pick up on the kindred. What other phrases do I know? When I think of phrases that I know in Chinese, I'm only thinking of like the one guy who teaches you how to say things in Chinese. Chanmi, Le, Bulan. Okay, whatever it thought that was in English is completely wrong. I'm nervous. I don't want to get the wrong translation. Oh no, it's still Japanese. I changed it wrong. Wait. Oh no, it's not. Wait. I'm trying to change it to Chinese, but it's not working. Hold on. Spoken language, Chinese. 你好，我是 Vox Akuma. Okay, I'll try saying what this is. 谢谢你一直这么用心. For the meeting commission. Oh, I see. 谢谢你一直这么用心. There we go. That's a bit better. It must be my pronunciation. It has to be. It has to be. Saikeria, thank you so much for the Aku Super. It's really good to see you again as always. I hope you've been doing well. Kai. So cute. Kai. That's a cute way of saying it. Kai. Can I try Korean? Yeah, I think I can try Korean. I just want to say, Saikeria, thank you so much for the Aku Super. It's always lovely to see you. Mwah. And Saisei Seki, thank you very much for the 5 gifted. Thank you. Pome, thank you. Always watch it in clippings and archives. I've always loved Vox. Well, now you can watch live if you want to try. I would love to have you watching live. Thank you so much for the super. H2B, I love you too. Saranghaeo. Let's try Korean. 1 second. Where is Korean? There it is. So what is I don't really know much Korean. I know Saranghaeo. I know Korean is hard. Yeah, I'm sure it is. There's a part of me that wants to there's a part of me that wishes I was you know the phrase polyglot. A part of me really wishes I could just jump in and speak a million different languages, but you really kind of have to dedicate your whole life to that. And I don't know if learning another language, it's like learning languages is hard. The pronunciation is fine. I can learn pronunciation okay, but actually learning syntax, sentence structure is really, really challenging. Thank you, Scarlett, for the super. Thank you for the real-time translation that includes Chinese. I love you. Never imagined we could chat like this. Neither did I, but the technology is progressing very, very fast. So who knows where things are going to be in the future. 谢谢你那么用心爱你心短片也很可爱 Pei-chan, thank you very much for the gifted. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. And Hakuma, thank you very much for the super. Arigato. I'm helped by translation. I appreciate it. When I'm with you, I always smile naturally. Tanoshi, arigato. It's just sort of the way the world is going is that it is becoming so easy to make full translations so quickly. I mean, it is translating what I'm saying so fast. It's really, really impressive. I've been learning Japanese for more than 5 years and still can't speak Japanese. Yeah, it's tough. It's a very, very difficult language to learn, especially if you are a native English speaker. That's what I've struggled with so much is, you know, just understanding sentence structure and syntax and getting nervous when trying to practice. But if I was ever to move to Japan for work, then I would put in like a really considerable effort to trying to learn. 我一直这么用心，就是为了拖着你的心，不是我在作弊。I've put so much effort into this just to steal your heart, and I'm not just blowing my own horn. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have put a lot of effort into it. Mwah. Thanks for giving me something else to some more pronunciation to learn. Plum, thank you very much for the 7 months. Itsumo hang on. Itsumo watashitachi no tame ni arigatou. My CM pronunciation is getting better. A lot of it is because I'm really focusing on the little lines, the intonation, to try and like get it right. I find the little kind of fall and rise one to be a bit tricky, and I think also the way that we pronounce things in English definitely makes it a bit confusing sometimes. Meru meru me, thank you for the Aku Super. Love you so much. It's my first Aku Super. Thank you, and I love you. Saranghe. Thank you so much for the super. Let me translate that as well. Komao saranghe. I love you too. Mwah. Yeah, so as far as it goes with other languages, it would be great. So from what I'm aware of, I only get to use like, I'm kind of allocated a bit of bandwidth to use the translation on my own account. If I had multiple accounts, I mean the problem is it would cost more, but it would be really funny to have like 5 alt accounts all running their own version of this app, and then what I could have is like 20 different languages on screen. But I think with the way that it sometimes layers up and you have 2 lines for each language or more even, then you wind up with overlap and then it would become really confusing. Yam Fujiki, thank you for the super. You're so handsome, incredibly... thank you for the 44 months, rather. You're so handsome, incredibly cute and talented. I'll love you forever. 你很帅气，非常可爱，有开花，me love more，我永远爱你。Saisei Teki, thank you. Genuinely asking, since a lot of my non-Chinese speaking friends said learning Chinese is hard, had it been hard for you? Because I'm genuinely impressed you can pick it up so well. Well, the thing is that I just have a bit of a knack for vocal impersonation and pronunciation. I don't think that I would do very well at learning a language like that from the ground up. I've tried, but I find it very, very confusing. From what I'm to understand, Chinese, Japanese, and other Asian languages with different character sets are some of the hardest languages to learn as an English speaker. Although that said, it's only that way because to people from Asia and really the rest of the world, English is one of the hardest languages to learn as well. There is so much about English that makes no sense at all. The way we have so many words that are spelt the same or pronounced the exact same but have completely different meanings. The way we have words with identical spelling that have a completely different pronunciation and meaning. It's like you know, let's take the word brown, for example, the color brown, B-R-O-W-N. Now let's think about if we change that to a T-H, T-H-R-O-W-N, the same spelling. How do you pronounce that? Thrown. No, it's throne. Although the app thinks I'm talking about a big golden throne, which is not the case. I'm talking about when you have thrown something across the room. Yeah, some people who are, you know, those proper translators who learn all these languages, they must just have a talent for it. I think that's a really important thing, not only that we should learn, but also that just generally the whole of society, I think, needs to be more aware of, is that I think everybody has something that they're good at. But sometimes you may think that you're not good at anything because you haven't found it yet. For me, I really think that my talent is for narrative. I love to tell stories, and whether it's doing that through just the spoken word or through editing or through writing or through music or whatever it is, I think that that's where my talent is. There are lots of things in life that I'm not very good at all. But and there's another life. In another life, I could speak a different language. There's, in a different life, maybe I never discovered that I kind of had a gift for that sort of thing, and I might have just, really struggled to find my place in the world. It's impressive if I dare to speak a foreign language. Vox is amazing. I'm glad you think I'm amazing. The instant translation is pretty amazing and quite accurate. As long as you can get the general idea of what I'm talking about through the subtitles, that's the most important part. There's a joke that ancient people buried a lot of esports talent. That is so true. I've never thought about that before. Because obviously the human body would always have been, in recent evolutionary terms, would have been just as capable of, if you planted a caveman in front of a computer long enough for it to learn how to play games. Yeah, I wonder how many, sort of famous historical figures would have been good at video games if they had the chance to play them. I mean, it's always curious. I think about historical chess players, Kasparov is still alive, but Bobby Fischer and Karpov and Mikhail Tal and other chess players like that. I wonder how good they would be in the era of modern online chess. I mean, it's not too different from physical chess, but also the game has evolved so much, and most chess grandmasters and analysts agree that the most recent world champion, Magnus Carlsen, is the best chess player that's ever lived, although we will know that more towards the end of his career, and we can look at it retroactively. Please say pickup lines trilingually. That's a great idea. Hold on, I have to, my mouth's getting a little bit dry. I should probably get some water, but I have this gel that helps me moisten my mouth a little bit because I have quite a dry mouth sometimes. A trilingual pickup line, I wonder. I sort of say, hey Kindred, that outfit looks so cute on you, but I think it'll look a little bit nicer on my floor. How does that translate, I wonder? Thank you for the corgi. Ow, ow. Ugh, bye guy. What? What? I said one. I said one. Allow it. Allow it. It's funny to imagine, when I say, because allow it is a bit embarrassing translation. It's, what is it? What am I trying to say? Allow it is a piece of English slang, which means, oh, let it be. It means, let me, it means literally allow me to do this, or, leave me alone, or don't criticize me, whatever it is. But then I'm thinking allow it, literally translated into Japanese, probably says, or into Chinese, probably says something very literal like, please allow me to do this. Thank you so much. Please allow this. 6, 7. Come on. There you go. I should also use this to learn a little bit. Watashi mo nore o. And then, of course, the moment I start speaking to learn from it, it will immediately start translating my Romaji Japanese into Japanese and then into simplified Chinese as well. Thank you so much for the jam in. Meow, meow. 6-7. Rokunana, 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 rokunana. What is 6-7 in Chinese? Liu Qi. Liu Qi. Apu, my last super was for you to read, not me confessing. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Gotcha, gotcha. Means stinky farts, and also bragging, and this means booty. Interesting. So, cho pi, stinky fart. I see, and pee pee. That's funny, because pee pee in English is slang for penis, so that's like the opposite almost. Not quite the opposite, but you know. Kai, thank you very much for the super. Like you said, I'm on the way of learning English. I'll keep studying hard so that someday I can speak better. Eigo machigatte iru kamo. Zutto daisuki desu. Thank you so much for the super. Good luck learning English. I'm rooting for you. And thanks for the finger heart from... What name is this? Mei Kangguo Baise de Yeji Ma. Can I say swears? Oh, that's a good question actually. Okay. Okay, everybody please read the translation if you don't speak this, okay? I'm going to say some swear words now. Please, if the translation on your end is particularly offensive, know that I am simply trying to experiment with this technology. Let me see. Fuck. It works. Bastard. Shit. Saw. That's not right. What about the C word? All right. Cunt. I guess that did work. Shit sounds like pooping. I suppose that would make sense. No offensive power. I'm too weak. I'm too friendly. I'm too nice. The translation of swear words is particularly accurate. Well, that's good to know. Please make it Korean. I'm just going to swear in every language. Fuck. Balls. Shit. Shit. Holy shitballs. I'm Deadpool, guys. Holy fuck nuggets. That guy on Reddit really likes this movie. I like Deadpool too. It's Reddit humor, but I like it. It's funny. The way it translated the word Reddit and understood it was a loan word was very funny. Can you please say anything to me and wish me good luck in my exam? Surgery is a lot to go through right before an exam, but you've been very, very brave, okay? I'm extremely proud of you, and I know you're going to do fine. It's a detractor from Project Hail Mary. I don't know. I thought that the humor in Project Hail Mary was a bit flat. It's just me. It's a lovely film. I did like it, and I'm glad that other people found it to be so inspiring, but it just didn't really register with me quite as much as it did with other people. But I know plenty of people who love Project Hail Mary, and I mean, nothing there. Non-lethal swear words. Would you rather I come out swinging? Would you rather I come out swinging with my vast library of slurs that I know but don't say? Of course I'm not going to do that. The fun language of communication in League of Legends. Now that is correct. That's what it's for. They were swear words were invented for League of Legends. Motherfucker. Mazafakada. That's funny. Oh, bollocks? How does bollocks translate? Bollocks. Bollocks is such a great English swear. I love saying, oh, bollocks. You're going to stick out like bollocks on a bulldog. Not going to get bonked. It's fine. Swearing, I believe, is okay as long as it's done 5 minutes after the start of the stream and you don't do it excessively. I mean, to me, this is, I don't think this is too much. I've sworn a lot more than this. It's complete nonsense in Chinese. I'm not surprised that directly translating bollocks into Chinese doesn't really come out with anything. Is it considered like really rude? Not really. I mean, it's a swear word, but it's not like, I don't think it's offensive per se. No one, an adult in an informal setting is very unlikely to be upset by the word bollocks. And also generally, I think British people tend to be a lot more, oh, excuse me, sorry. Sorry. Pardon me. My microphone definitely needs to be replaced. Anyway, I think that British people tend to be a lot more blasé about swears than in America, for example. I know a lot more Americans who don't swear than I do British people. I really don't know any British people that don't swear. Could I be a little more affectionate? Of course. Baby, I'm so sorry that I managed to make that horrible noise with my microphone. I'm not trying to cause you any harm. I'm just really grateful that I've got you here. I'm really grateful that we're able to share this experience. And now, even if you can't speak English and I can't speak your language, we can have a really true conversation. You and I can be, at last, in a one-to-one sort of chat. Isn't that so exciting? Are you excited like I am? Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. I do love everybody. I mean, generally, how could I not love the people that have given me this career, that have, completely changed my life? It's good enough already. I'm really tempted. Yeah, I'll bet you are. Yeah, I'm not sure why Americans, not all over, but a lot of Americans tend to be a lot more kind of antsy about swearing. But in the UK, it's not such a big deal. It's very unlikely that there are not a lot of words in the UK that can really, outside of slurs and like hateful language, there's not a lot you can say in the UK that would get you in a lot of trouble, depending on context, of course. If you go into, you wouldn't say fuck off to the Queen, would you? God rest her soul. You wouldn't say fuck off to the King. Although you might. I mean, lots of British people do. Lots of British people do. Nicola, thank you very much. Croatian line for you. Okay, let me switch over to Croatian temporarily. Okay, so what does this say? Let me see. Kao što. Is that more or is that more? Kao što se more? Is that j? Is that like lj or is it j? Kao što se more? Jubi s obalom tako i ja želim poljubiti tebe. Love you too. I'm not sure what that means. Let me translate that. Just as the sea kisses the shore, so too do I wish to kiss you. That's beautiful. Now wait a minute, I'm going to check I'm thinking of the right country, because if I am, let me check, hold on. The Korean subs are accurate, but ball is translated literally. I'm not surprised that it translates that as, just an actual round object. Croatian. I'm not surprised that a Croatian pickup line has a lot to do with the sea and the shore, especially given Croatia is the most hilariously shaped country in the world, because Croatia just completely swoops in front of Bosnia and prevents them from going to the sea. Every time I see a map of Croatia and Bosnia, I cannot stop laughing, because the idea that a Bosnian wants to go to the beach and all of Croatia just says, nope, shoop. I'm not throwing shade. It's simply an observation of the way that the map looks, that's all. Thank you, Masato. Talk about 6-7. 6-7 in Cantonese may have a rude meaning. Oh, that's interesting. Means you silly dumbass. Well, there you go. For my information only. All right. Well, I will not repeat it. Taya Kiaita. Thank you very much for the trophy. Very tasty. Thanks for the finger heart as well. How do I pronounce your name? So many names to learn, so many words to learn, so much learning to do. Lan xiao jie, jie, jie. Lan xiao jie, lan xiao jie. That's it. Jie. 6-7 meaning silly dumbass is kind of cute. It is, it is. Now, I would like to share, now that we have the translation going, there is a story from the UK at this moment in time that I would love to share with you. So, something that is very unique to British culture, personality, and sensibility is our way of finding humor in anything. It stretches to all corners of life, and there are many, many instances where a British person, even in a very serious situation, just can't resist squeaking a joke in. A very famous example is an old interview where the then Prime Minister David Cameron was being interviewed on the BBC. And he was giving a perfectly ordinary, factual answer to a question about his political campaign, and there was nothing to laugh at. Then, once his interview was complete, they cut back to the studio, and the news presenter in the studio looked into the camera and said, "Well, I don't know why he's talking to a tree." And if you look at the interview, the interviewer is not on screen, and David Cameron looks like he is talking straight at a tree. Now that could be a completely serious political broadcast, and yet, because of a little bit of situational humor, we just can't help it, you know? And it's one of the things that I love so much about British humor and about being a part of this country. Real quick, I want to say thank you to Taroshi for the Aku Super. Even when you use bad words, I love you so much. Aww. Along with my heart, thank you so much for taking on new challenges every single day. It is tough, but we're going to learn, and I'm glad I get to connect with you in all kinds of new ways. Thank you so much for the Aku Super, my love. Now, what's going on in the UK at the moment is something that I think, even though what I'm obviously going to do is tell this story in a very neutral way, it is without question very, very hilarious. So, the UK has many different political parties, and one of which that's gaining a lot of ground in recent years is called reform. It's very controversial, although I obviously, due to contract, cannot give my opinion on it here. But just know they have many supporters and many enemies as well. Their leader, Nigel Farage, has been under some controversy recently due to some donations received from out of the country. Now, there's a process by which he was being investigated for this. However, he had an idea, and his idea was to resign from his seat in Parliament and instead to say, I'm going to be re-elected again by my constituency to prove that those people are the judge of my actions. Now, what he did triggered an immediate or, very soon election in his local constituency. However, the leaders of other major parties decided we don't want to participate because we find this to be a stunt and we're not going to spend the time and money to participate in this election. So for a while, it looked like it would just be him running essentially against no one. But then, someone emerged from the shadows to challenge him. In the UK, anyone can run for political office. You don't need to be a part of a major party. You don't need to be a part of any major there's not a lot of setup involved. It costs £500 to put your name forward for ballot, and then you can run for office. And you also, I believe, need 10 signatures from people within that constituency to vouch for you and say that they would vote. So anybody can do it. And in fact, there are, in this election now, 33 different people running for office. The most well-known of them is a man, not really a man, an alien, called Count Binface. Count Binface is a self-proclaimed space warrior who wears a trash can, a bin, on his head. He claims his race of alien is a recyclon, and which is sort of Doctor Who-y a little bit. And he claims to be from the planet Sigma 9. Now, in reality, Count Binface is a comedian who works for the BBC. He runs in as many local elections as possible as a means of entertaining people. He is always there, and he's never won. Obviously, he's never won because he's a joke candidate. He's there to make people laugh. And some of the most, some of the most hilarious pieces of footage from elections in the UK stem from seeing serious candidates having serious interviews, and they are stood on stage with Count Binface, who is, for lack of a better term, a trash bin. Count Binface is, excuse me for 1 second. Count Binface is so well known that he is now the most popular candidate to be to stand up against Nigel Farage. So it's very funny to imagine what's going on here is that this, whether you view it as a political stunt or as a genuine expression of what he views to be an unfair system, what Nigel Farage wanted was, a clean, easy path through a constituency where he was already very popular, and most likely, statistically, he most likely will win. But quite a few of the polls are showing that a lot of people want Count Binface to win. Now, if Count Binface were to win, there are a lot of very interesting things to think about. For example, in the House of Commons, it is not allowed to wear a face covering. So Count Binface, who wears his big helmet, surely by that rule would not be able to participate in parliamentary debate or to occupy the seat that he would win. However, some political analysts have said that what he might be able to do is essentially claim that the comedian wearing the costume was not elected. The character was elected. Count Binface was elected, and he is represented by his face covering, his helmet. And so there is an understanding that this age-old law might be amended in order to allow him to sit in Parliament in character. And he would have to be in character because that is what the people of Clacton-on-Sea would have elected as their local representative. So that's just a little story I wanted to share. I am not, of course, making any political statement whatsoever because I do not wish I do not wish to get involved in any kind of debate, would certainly not wish to cause offense. But I think, as an example of a piece of British history and culture, it is very, very funny and very interesting. The election, I believe, is taking place on August 13th, so regardless of what happens, I'm sure there will be lots of funny stories coming out of Clacton, and it will be something that I certainly look forward to seeing the results of. So why can't Victor Abbott Jr. run as Vox Akuma for MP? Well, I could. There's kind of nothing legally saying that I couldn't do that. I absolutely could do that. I could walk out, you know, full 3D and everything, go to, you know, the government and say, I'm going to run. If there was a by-election happening in a town in which I was a resident, or really anywhere, actually, you don't need to live in the constituency to run for office there. I could. There's nothing stopping me. That's true, actually. If I were a member of parliament, would I have to appear in 2D, like on a screen that someone brings into the into the Houses of Parliament? Now, there's a question to think about, right? There's something to analyze. Count Binface has a very funny, what is it? A very funny manifesto where he talks about some of his policies, one of which being he pledges to build at least one affordable house, and also says that he's going to move the hand dryer in the gents' toilets from the Crown and Treaty pub in Uxbridge to a more sensible location. I have never been to the Crown and Treaty pub in Uxbridge, so I have no idea what the situation is with where that hand dryer is located, but it's funny that he's running for Clacton-on-Sea, and one of his policies includes making a very minor change to a pub in Uxbridge. But there you go. But yes, I don't know. I don't know if I've got it in me. I don't really want to be involved in politics. I don't really have the it's a stressful life. I don't really have the level of, I would say, executive function and organizational skill to be a member of parliament. Although I will say I think I would be a decent speaker, you know. You know what I would do? I'd be like John Burko. I'd be the Speaker of the House, where I get my hammer out, I get the gavel, you know, and then everybody starts yelling over each other and they go, order, order, order. I think I'd be pretty good at that. UK Parliament is very funny to watch happen because there's so much yelling and people are taking the piss constantly and there are so many funny jokes. Recently, when the ex-Prime Minister Keir Starmer, on his last day in office before he resigned, allowing the current Prime Minister Andy Burnham to step up, there's a clip of him in Parliament saying 6-7 and doing the hand motion as well, which is funny. There's also another good clip of him standing up and saying meep meep. So there's a whole lot of funny stuff that happens. Generally, I think I appreciate it because these things can get so serious and they can get so frightening at times. But what I appreciate so much is the ability to have a laugh at the end of the day, and regardless of what goes on, find a way to, you know, put some humor into it. I think that's one of the greatest things about my country, and it makes me feel very, very, very proud to be a part of it. We do. We need a little bit of humor to you know, get on with life and enjoy it. That's true. That's true, yeah. I mean, it's not always going to be funny for everybody, but I think it's a cultural thing. I think it's one of the reasons why, you know, I don't think that a British joke candidate would do particularly well elsewhere in the world, because that's just a part of British culture, British humor. Please let me know if there is a good way to study listening skills. I apologize for my poor English. Well, I will be making some English teaching content soon. I'll have a video out this weekend that you can use to learn something there. Prime Minister ASMR. Debate. We could have a debate. You know what would be fun? I think Aya did that once, didn't she? Where it was like a debate club, but about very silly topics. Maybe we should try and have a debate. And obviously, those of you who speak other languages, you know, thanks to YouTube's translation, you can debate me in your own language. What would I debate? What would I debate? Something silly and funny that we can... Peeing, sitting, or standing? I will... I mean... You can't really debate that because, like, some people have to sit while they pee. So if you're trying to debate on the side of peeing while standing on the behalf of women, I feel like it just doesn't really make much sense, you know? Now, me personally, I pee standing up when I'm in a rush or when I just want to be done with it and get back to what I'm doing. But sitting down to pee is more relaxing, and you tend to void your bladder a little more effectively. And what's more, it gives me a chance to pull my phone out, look at Twitter, maybe play a game of bullet chess or similar. I wonder, yeah. Okay, guys, I have an idea. I wonder what it would be like to play a game. To play a game with this translator. I wonder how effectively it's going to translate what, you know, the topics in the game, you know? But what game should it be? That's what I'm wondering. Also, thankfully this actually gets translated this time. I have a bit of a headache, so I'm going to grab some water and I will be right back. Mwah. See you in a second. And I love you, by the way. Mwah. No, don't talk trash about me. Don't do that. Hello everyone, I'm back. Thank you very much for the super. Thank you so much. Let me quickly get chat back up so I can translate everything. There we are. Thank you, Maruta. Thank you. Raibu something. Raibu something. Let me translate that chestnut. Raibu honyaku arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for the live translation. You're welcome. Oh, I guess I've learned something. Raibu honyaku. So I guess honyaku must mean translation. And then, of course, we all know what arigatou gozaimasu means. Faith, thanks for the finger heart. Chew. Do drop your hair care routine, though. Well, it's a funny thing that. I kind of have avoided this question in the past because I always felt a little embarrassed about it. But I obviously shower every day. And my ointment that I used to wash is this seaweed-scented shower gel, which I think is really... It's not like actual seaweed scent, but it's very oceany, and I love it. I love it so much. But the reality is, I actually very rarely use shampoo. And that's because I never used shampoo. I was around, I think, before shampoo was even invented. And the thing about shampoo, there was a time when I used it far too much. And what happened was I realized that my hair was so prone to becoming oily that what happened was I got insecure about that and I started applying way too much. And so what the hair does is it produces more and more oil in response to more of that. So most of the time I just wash my hair with water. And it turns out very fluffy, bouncy, and I love my hair. I think it's really nice. And a lot of people have said, you know, wow, your hair is really, really soft. And I will shampoo roughly once every 2 weeks, maybe, just if it starts to get a little bit greasy. But usually I just wash my hair with water. And I would highly recommend doing so. I really, really would. I generally, aside from like a fairly basic skincare routine, I would say that the less reliance you have on health products, the better, because they might have a really observable benefit for you, but they also can turn into a bit of a reliance on it. And I think that, obviously I think that beauty is inherent, and that no product that you use no product that you use could ever like kind of improve or take away from that. How did you transition from using too much to using less? It was just one day I just decided I don't want to have to do this anymore. I'm going through entire bottles of shampoo every day, and I've had enough. So what I did was I'm not going through a bottle of shampoo in it. That's an exaggeration. But I'm going through a lot of shampoo. So I just, for 2 months, I didn't use shampoo at all. I just washed my hair with water. And yes, for that time, my hair was very greasy and my scalp itched horribly, and it was gross. But then when I finally did use shampoo again, I then noticed that my hair stayed very, very lovely and bouncy and fantastic for ages before I felt the need to shower again. So I shower and I wash with water every single day, and I use soap to wash my body and make sure that I'm actually physically clean and getting all of the dirt off. But my hair, it's free of enough oil now that it manages okay. But I do use some shampoo occasionally. And I use conditioner as well. Conditioner does help with the texture and the fluffiness of my hair. But I'll be honest, I don't use particularly recognizable brands. I just grab whatever works from usually from someone like M&S. I might, go and treat myself to an M&S if I need to get some more conditioner. Do I use perfume every day? I'll use perfume if I go out, or if I have to see anybody, I'll use my cologne and my perfume. But obviously, if it's just me, then there's no need. I've got enough. I have reed diffusers around the house. I have scents around the house that I can smell. So there's no need for me to like fully freshen up if I'm at home. Plus, my perfume is quite expensive. If I was putting that on myself every day, I'd run out pretty quickly. What kind of deodorant do you use? I use a very simple and quite cheap deodorant, which is like, I can't remember, it's like a Nike Sure deodorant which says, which is called, I think it's 48-hour Quantum Dry. And the only reason that I use that deodorant is because it was what I used when I went to university. And for some reason, the smell of that deodorant is deeply nostalgic to me. Every time I spray myself with that deodorant, I get like thrown back in time to the first 6 months I spent as a NIJISANJI liver. And I just have not been able to switch to it's perfectly cheap. It's not, you know, a very, it's, you know, it's Nike. It's a brand, but it's, yeah, you know, that's something important. Yeah, spray deodorant. I mean, I know spray deodorant aerosols not as good for you as other stuff, but the, you know, the smell of it is, whatever. Kind of losing myself. Nina, thank you very much for the super. Thank you for always putting on such wonderful streams. I hope you continue to stay healthy and enjoy both your daily life and streaming. I will. Thank you. And I'm glad that you think it's thoughtful. That's been one of the nicest things, I think, to see in the comments of the Kayukan vlog and also here today is I see the word thoughtful popping up a lot. And it's really nice for me to see that. What is it? For me, I'm someone who, I'm forgetful, and sometimes I can be a bit slow to remember things and all of that. But to see that people think that the inclusion of subtitles is thoughtful and that I'm being considerate, it makes me feel very, very happy. Really, I'm so glad that I could provide a service like that to my fans of different languages, because there are so many of you. Thank you, Chocho. Thank you very much for the super. You are my god. Wow. Oiwa kami. Cut me? No, don't do that. Sulia, thank you for the super. Speaking of hair, can't handle long hair in summer anymore, so I cut it. Used random scissors, no proper trim, so it's a bit ugly. Do you still love me if I have ugly hair? First of all, I don't think that your hair is ugly. Second of all, I would still love you regardless of what your hair looked like. I love you too. I love you so much. And I will say, what I find so wonderful about life is that I think I have a type, but I also think that I don't know if any one look is unattractive to me. You know, I really think that I have it in me to find anybody really attractive, and that extends to weird hairstyles. You know, it extends to anything like that. Right? Like if you just cut your own hair, even if hair is, you know, to be honest, I would still think you were perfectly attractive even if you were bald. I don't think there's anything unattractive about being bald. If you were bald, if you just had weird hair, I think that if you had a weird bad haircut, I would find something attractive about that in a way that feels, what am I trying to say here? In a way that feels kind of funky and a bit, I don't know, a bit sexy in a way. Just having weird fucked up hair, I'm like, what's your story? I want to know what that was about, and that kind of draws me to someone. So I don't think that that's something you should worry about. I also, funny story about that as well. One time, while I was at university, this is during the second COVID lockdown, and all the hairdressers were of course closed. There came a point when my hair was getting very, very, very long, and I thought it's time to cut my hair. And so I tried to cut my hair myself, and I thought I did a pretty good job, but I accidentally gave myself a big bald spot on my head. And I came and I said, hey guys, roommates, how is my hair? And they said, oh my god. I pointed, then I looked in the mirror, and there it was. If you just lifted up like the bit of floppy hair on top, you could see a big patch of bald, which thankfully has grown back now. But it was quite a scary time, to say the least. Excuse me. Baby, even at 144p, you're still stunning. Is there lag on this stream? I think I did set it as ultra low latency rather than low again, because I I thought that maybe interaction would be more important, but if there's lag, then we can go back to just the normal low latency next time. What I think, it's like there are so many men who have receding hairline, and I think, okay, if there's one thing I would find unattractive, it's the type of hair where you can see a man's hair is so gone that it's just a thin line of hair around the back of his head. At that point, stop holding on, man. Just be bald. There is no shame in being bald. My dad is bald. My dad, love him very much. Incredible, incredible man who I'm very, very lucky to be able to call my father, who has looked after me on many, many occasions. My dad is the baldest person I know. He is so bald, in fact, he has no beard, he has no mustache, he doesn't even have eyebrows. His eyebrows fell out. He told me the story of when he noticed he was losing his hair, and he went to the doctor, and the doctor sat him down and explained, well, what you've got is, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was some condition that they described to him. And they said, you have this syndrome. And he said, oh no, what does that mean? And they said, right, well, there's one thing you're going to have to change about your life and you're going to have to be prepared for. And he said, oh, what is it? You're just going to have to be prepared to be bald. Like, that's it. It's not alopecia, no. It was something different, a lot more. The only symptom of it was that his hair was just falling out. That was it, He just, one day, his hair decided to fall out. But that's it, And he owns being bald. I think he looks great. I think he looks great being bald. Roku, thank you. I would like to ask if you have a favorite chikawa, so when I buy ponchos and accessories for me pape, it matches what you like. Okay, let me check. What chikawas are there? Guys, let's decide what our favorite chikawa is. Okay, so on the official website, let's have a look. Okay, so of course you have the default chikawa, gentle, sweet, and kind. You have hachiware, big heart, can-do attitude, always finds the bright side. Usagi, the most energetic, seems to find the fun. Momonga. Now I know about Momonga because Momonga is the one that we went to sushi a few years ago to win for Petra. And I like Momonga because it sounds like a chant. Momonga, Momonga. With wide expressive eyes and a big fluffy tail, super cute and not afraid to use it. Rakko, highly regarded hunter and respected for bravery. Oh, I've not heard of this one. Kurimanju, a certain fondness for beverages, strong ones. Equipped with a drinking license, often seen with snacks and drinks in hand. I didn't know there was an alcoholic in Chikawa. Shisa. Inspired by the guardians of the Ryukyu Islands, the lion-esque looking Shisa is a hard worker to the core. Huru Honya is a kind-hearted bookworm who buys and sells second-hand books. Huru Honya is so cute. I love her little buns or ears she's got. So cute. Aww. Oh, look at this guy. Pochet no Yoroi-san. Pochet no Yoroi-san is a gentle knight who loves cute things. He enjoys crafting and sells handmade pajamas. That is me as fuck. That is me as fuck. Pochet no Yoroi-san, that is me as hell. I too am a gentle knight who loves cute things. Oh, there's another one. Rodo no Yoroi-san. Overseas handing out work assignments. Unfortunately, Rodo no Yori-san often gets tangled up in Momonga's mischief. Well, really, I'm Rodo no Yoroi-san, and you guys are Momonga because you're always fucking with me. Ramen no Yoroi-san owns the local ramen shop. Ah. Ramen no Yorio-san's assistant Shisa is a not-so-secret admirer. Ah. Okay, so those are the major Chiikawa characters. Do you guys hate Momonga? What's wrong with Momonga? I saw a tweet recently of someone said they were like, "Are you saying that you hate Momonga?" And they're like, "I do, and I'm tired of pretending I don't." I don't know what Momonga did, but what's wrong with that? Yeah, what's wrong with Momonga? But yeah, so far I think my favorite character's got to be Pochet no Yoroi-san. I mean, I think seeing all these cute little Chiikawas and then like this knight, yeah, very funny. I identify with this character. But as far as the little cute ones go, I think Furu Honya has the cutest design. Although Kuri Manju likes drinking, and I like drinking too. I like drinking as well. Spoilers! I forgot that there's like a whole plot to Chiikawa, and that there's a movie and stuff like that. So yeah, don't spoil Chiikawa for me, guys, okay? I have to learn what it's about. Oh, Yuki, thank you very much for the Aku Super. Mwah. Hope you've been enjoying the stream. It's always lovely to see you. Thank you very much for dropping by. Mwah. And thank you for supporting me like always. Love Cake, thank you. Is there any Aku SMR portrayal that lives in your head rent-free and for any particular reason? Well, as I'm sure many of you are aware, there is an excellent doujin made of the tattoo artist ASMR. And I am very, very fond of this. Big shout out to Avis for the tattoo artist doujin. Incredibly well done. But otherwise, a lot of people love the knight. I love the knight as well. And I think a lot of the designs for not only the knight but also kind of the viewer, like his lord that he falls in love with. I always like that kind of stuff. A lot of the designs for the dragon are really good. Also, I've been having a thought recently. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do... Because you want to know something? I've been spending so much time recently, like, thinking of ideas for videos to do. And I'm like, man, I know I'm so good at ASMR. I should just make ASMR videos, you know? I should just make, like, a scripted, shorter thing. And I've had this idea of like, I don't know. I feel like it would maybe be a good idea as well, because obviously, you know, now that we're on the subject, we're all well aware that there was a time when I made ASMR that was very much not safe for work, and there's like I've kind of been of two minds about this sort of content for a long time, because most of what we do now is not that, but there's still, you know, members ASMR gets pretty crazy sometimes. And I've thought about like doing that kind of thing again, but also it's like, you know, you have to follow the YouTube rules, and that's why the very sexual ones got taken down previously. But I've been thinking about like other ways of distributing that kind of thing in the future. Did I script ASMR? The old ASMR was all just improv. It was all improv and like, yeah, bringing chat into the mix and sort of having a conversation with that. But there were always like little bits of it, like story beats that I would plan out in advance. So, for example, let's take the very raunchy Professor ASMR, right? The Professor one, I knew that it was going to be an initial meeting where the flirting and the kind of first little bit of petting happens, and then there was going to be the showing up at his house and going into the closet as well. So I knew that was going to happen, and from there all I was going to do was just fill up the time with as much dialogue as possible. This is one of the reasons why the Office ASMR went as far as it did. For those of you who don't know, real quick, let me just read. Miri Lively, thank you for the super. Oh yeah, my beloved as well. And thank you for the Kogi Karuko-san no. Thank you very much. Now, the thing about the boss in the office ASMR is that it started so strong. It started off very sexually, and then the reason that it sort of got to a point where at the time I was just sort of following what chat wanted, and so many people were in chat and they were saying, please put it in my mouth. And I just thought, well, all right. And then that just, then I had a fully public YouTube stream that simulated head in front of everybody. And I don't blame anybody who made that suggestion in chat. I mean, it's perfectly reasonable given how sexual it already was. But it is kind of fascinating that all came just from chat interaction. And a lot of what the decisions I did make and the general progression of that, the general progression there, like, it did all come from, like, just seeing what chat was saying and kind of saying, all right, I'll follow along with that. Well, a lot of people loved Butler as well, but I think a lot of people were expecting Butler to be more sexual when I wanted it to be kind of a gentler one. Genuinely astonished that it actually happened. You know what it is? It's two things. I think that, it's a few things actually. For me, when I am, I guess, performing something of an act of service, I tend to delegate decision-making to people around me, I guess. I have this view of my own thoughts as though they're like less important when what I'm making is something to be enjoyed or to help others. So with those streams, I have never really enjoyed or listened to ASMR myself. I don't get the tingles. It's just not something that I ever have. It doesn't register with me. However, I became aware a long time ago, obviously, that I have a very pleasant sounding voice. Not to gas myself up, but I would be being stupid if I said I didn't. And so it was obvious that I should try. And from that, just like, in a way, making content for cultures outside of my own, overseas cultures that were so different, I kind of went about it with this thought of, well, the customer is always right. I'm making content for an audience that I don't really, that I'm not myself a part of, and so I should just listen to what they want. And it did lead to immense success. I mean, we have more than 1 million subscribers for a reason. But it was also, during scenes like that, where I'm saying some crazy stuff about getting a blowjob in front of everybody, it does, what am I trying to say? It doesn't, in the moment, it didn't feel to me like that was too far. I wasn't thinking about it enough. I was just, in the moment, I was like, well, it's because I'm in character. I'm acting, When you're doing improv, it really does feel like you're stepping into the moment. And in the moment, that's a guy who is, I'm in character as this guy, and that's sort of where it reached. I think I'm very good at immersing myself in character work, like with the RP servers we've done, District V and Vcraft as well. It's a shame that with a translator like this, that it wouldn't really work for a big collab setting like an RP server. Although then again, it doesn't listen to stream audio, it just listens to my microphone. So I could, if we did something like Vcraft again or District V again, I could have the subtitles on screen just listening to what I'm saying. It would just mean that you wouldn't be able to translate what the other people in the RP were saying. So it depends. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of the context. There's a Minecraft mod for translating. Ooh. Oh yeah, but between like players, for on stream, I think that's going to be different, and it would be, and it's also difficult to consider just how many different languages there are to translate to. Well, guys, I would really love to stay in chat, but I actually have to go. I have to go and see my family this evening. So what I'm going to leave you with is just a little thank you, because today has been really brilliant. I was nervous, as you could tell from the start of the day. I was trying to I really wanted to make sure that this program would work and that the translation would be good enough. To say thank you for, my fans from all different parts of the world for having supported me for so long. When I first joined NIJISANJI, I did not expect to have an audience that were not English speakers. It just wasn't something I was prepared for. And it's also because I didn't even know what NIJISANJI was when I first applied. And I wasn't familiar with the culture. I wasn't familiar with the audience. But what I am grateful for is the way that this culture and this community has picked me up and guided me along. You are all so understanding of my lack of knowledge, and you are also patient with me for the ways that I have needed to learn to sink into your culture. There are memes in different cultures that I don't understand, and yet when I access them and sort of talk about them, it winds up making a lot of you really happy. And that's something I notice really for many different cultures. When I read katakana on stream, those of you who speak Japanese get really excited. When I translate and try to read and pronounce some Chinese by reading pinyin, a lot of you who speak Chinese find that to be really sweet. And even those of you, even my lovely Muslim fans, when I say astaghfirullah and beg Allah's forgiveness, are really keen to see me access that part of culture as well. It's fascinating to know how important this is, but when I think about my culture, and when I think about anybody who enjoys or wants to be a part of English culture, that makes me excited as well. So I hope that, given how much you have done for me, how much you've carried me through language barriers and misunderstanding, I hope I can continue to make content that helps you understand English and that helps us more than anything to connect and speak with one another with no barriers in between. I hope that you can enjoy an experience where you can listen to my true, unfiltered voice and can enjoy listening to the sound of it while also understanding exactly what I want to say to you. And all that I've ever wanted to say to you is that I love you and I am incredibly grateful for the ways in which you have changed my life. 谢谢, arigatou gozaimasu, gracias, and all the other ones, merci, and a bunch of other ones. There are far too many languages to count, but thank you. I want to say thank you to Tokito for the Aku Super. One an means good night in English. Well, one an to you all, and thank you for the Aku Super, and for it's fine, and for looking after me today. Thank you so much, and for looking after me always, really. Sunny, thank you for the super. To tell you a secret, your way of speaking is always so clear, I don't use my brain to understand. I don't know if my English level has gotten worse or better after all these years. That is really cute of you to say. Thank you, Sunny. It's always nice to see, and I just get so touched by people's passion and I promise I will get a new mic. I'm sorry. There's just been a lot of expenses with the new tech I'm getting instead. So yeah, it might take a little bit, but I'm going to look into it. God, my mouth is so dry. Let me translate this. Maruta, thank you very much for the super. Arigatou. Thank you for a wonderful time. 素敵な時間をありがとうございます. Thank you, and thank you to you as well. Love Cake, thank you. Thank you for making such a progressive and accessible step. Have fun with your folks. I will. Thank you so much for the super. Really lively, thank you. It was interesting, fun, and so sweet. Oh, I love you too. Thank you. Angelia, thank you for the Aku Super. You guys have been very generous to me today. Thank you. Thank you for everything. I love you so much. Otsu, BB. I love you. Do whatever you love, and I'll always support you. I will. I'm going to keep fighting for what I love. 做你喜欢的任何事我永远支持你，我最爱你。Thank you. What am I going to eat later? Oh, I don't know. What am I going to eat? I think I'm just going to pop to the shops and grab a snack. It's already getting a little bit late. Well, it's not really dinner time yet, but I'm kind of hungry. Question before you end. What does taskaru people... Alright, so TSKR means taskaru, and it's an expression in Japanese which means you have blessed me. So if I do or say something that is satisfying or appealing to people, then that's sort of a trendy way of saying, thank you. Yeah, I've been blessed, or you have blessed me. So if I, people say it when I sneeze, people say it when I sing a little bit, people say it all the time. It's a great, if anything on stream makes a sound or anything that gets you a little bit excited or aroused or anything, then the Tusker, as my mum pronounced it when the first time she saw it in my chat, which is very funny. Tusker. Taskuru is a good way of expressing that. I know, right? Anyway. I was singing a little bit earlier, just practicing a little bit. What was I singing? Anyway. Taskuru when he blows his nose. Yes, it's gross, okay? I was trying to mute my mic to blow my nose and I didn't manage it, and then everyone was like, Taskaru. I'm like, stop, it's gross. Stop it. Lily, thank you for the super. I love you too. Best Oshi, I mean that's high praise. Okay. I've got to go. I'm going to see you all very shortly, but thank you for all the love today, and I'm glad to know that this tool is working okay for all of you. So we're going to keep using this on various different streams. And hopefully this can be a way that all of you can, regardless of your language, can learn to really, really enjoy the stream, even if it slowly starts filling up the entire screen. Go on. It must have a system where it, part of it transcribes what you're saying, and then the next part, shortens it into a sentence. See, there you go. It's when it gets full and it's not grayed out, that's when it does it. Funny. Anyway. Taroshi, thank you for the super. Okay, it's more Japanese. I wanna learn. I wanna learn. あなたとの時間をとても楽しかったです. I'm glad you enjoyed spending time with me today. Naku, thank you. I love you too. I'm glad to be supporting you after all this time. And thank you for supporting me too. Anyway, I do have to go. So I'll see you all next time. Thank you for being so patient while I got this working. I love you. See you soon. Cool. What was I singing earlier? And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. What's that you say, Mrs. Robinson? I can't remember what the line is after that. What's the line after that? I really enjoyed singing this earlier. Jolton Joe has left and gone away. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. You know, with singing, it's I'm getting better at... I realize I need to project a lot more. You know, I need to not be afraid to really open my mouth and properly sing, because it's either massive head voice, you know, where it's all really gentle. Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. But then if I don't know, it's I kind of struggle with high notes, but then if I'm really projecting, then it gets a little bit easier. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. See? If I just let it, it's a bit wobbly, but I think it's a confidence thing, really. God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Wait. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, 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 hey. We'd like to know a little bit about you for our files. We'd like to help you learn to help yourself. Look around you, all you see are sympathetic eyes. Stroll around the grounds until you feel at home. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Anyway, I had fun with that this morning. And I like seeing Tasquero. I can't stop. I see Tasquero and it sends such a shot of dopamine straight into my blood. And I'm like, oh, I gotta. They like it. The people, they love it. I like it when he says cuckoo, cuckoo. Anyway, bye-bye, guys. Love you.